So now I went over those tools a little bit. Other optional tools are if you don't have printed guidelines, and I'll go over guidelines in just a sec, but a ruler. A ruler is good, which is good, and a protractor. So essentially break out your old like geometry sets from when you were in high school, if you took that kind of math. And the reason why, so now I'm going to touch a little bit on guidelines. So guidelines are really important for consistency in your work. I find that when one learns, myself included, because before I took a class, however many years ago that was, I didn't understand that guidelines weren't to like hold your hand because you're like a baby and can't do it. It's literally so your work is good. Like, at least that's how I see it. Anyways, some people think probably differently than me, but that's kind of how I view it. So especially with copperplate, proportions are very important. So generally speaking, we'll go a little bit over the terminology at the same time. Oh, sorry, I was adjusting my brightness instead of zooming. There we go. Generally speaking, whatever your X height, so let's pretend it's definitely not, because this is in inches and not in millimeters, but let's pretend that this is here 6 millimeters. This is what's called the X height. And then 1, 2, 3. And here, ascender, waistline, baseline, and descender. So also, you're going to see some of my actual crap handwriting. You're super welcome. If anyone has not done calligraphy but has looked into doing typography, it's the same terms, because typography comes from calligraphy. I say this with a lot of authority, pretty sure. So whenever you're writing a letter, more specifically, well, with majuscules and minuscules, mostly with minuscules, you're going to be sticking with between your X height. So this is your baseline. So this, if you have like a lined piece of paper and you're writing like, let's say my name or something, ERINO, and I should have done it in minuscules. What? There we go. Your minuscules are going to fit between these two lines, and then this in here is for like whatever pops above, which is your ascenders, and then down here is for like your J's or your G's or whatever the case may be. So when you're doing calligraphy, the specifically copperplate, the copperplate proportions are your X height is, in this case, it's 6 millimeters, and then the ascender height and the descender height are going to be whatever this is times 1.5. And that keeps your proportions really, really stable and even, and like visually very pretty. So if we were going to do that, so our X height here, which is 6 millimeters, our ascender height is going to be 9 millimeters. And our descender, you're going to hear some French ads, is also 9 millimeters. So it'd be 9, 6, and 9. So, and this works with any type of X height. You literally just have to times it by 1.5. And it does translate into like inches and stuff too. It's easier for me to work in millimeters. But yeah, these are the copperplate. Proportions. So it's like not written the most beautifully, but if you're taking notes, You're super welcome for this wonderful graph or wonderful little like demo thing they made.